Society celebrates the pursuit of personal desires and unique identities. Yet it swiftly labels those who stray from convention as defective. My name is Sarah, I'm 31, and I've been deemed blemished by those around me. Allow me to reveal the unfiltered reality of how choosing transient ardor over reliable stability became the remorse that lingers in my heart. 2 years prior, I was wed to David, sharing 7 years together, for as spouses. He embodied the ideal partner. A stable career, a home we co-owned, and endless talks about future financial plans. To David, romance was a scheduled task. A bouquet from the local store every few weeks was his idea of devotion. I balanced part-time work at a marketing firm while David believed one of us should maintain the household, meaning I handled all the cooking, cleaning, and social arrangements while he provided the income, as if that equalized our roles. Our conversations were routine, chores, his workplace grievances, or house maintenance. When did he last ask about my dreams? What ignited my spirit? The emotional void between us was stifling. I'd see couples engrossed in vibrant exchanges while David scrolled his phone during dinner. I'd browse friends' posts about impulsive romantic gestures while David's version of excitement was ordering takeout pizza. I began questioning if this hollow routine was the entirety of my future. Then Marcus entered my life at a work conference. He wasn't exceptionally striking, but his confident demeanor captivated me. Unlike others who boasted about their successes, Marcus genuinely listened when I spoke. He asked insightful questions and remembered minor details from our previous conversations. His straightforwardness was intoxicating. He was open about his admirations, desires, and emotions. After years of David's emotional detachment, Marcus's honesty felt like a lifeline. Most women fear genuine passion, he remarked early on. They say they crave excitement, but when it requires true commitment, they back away. You, however, seem different. I longed to be that distinct woman. I was weary of being reliable Sarah, who planned weekly meals and adhered to a dull schedule. Marcus awakened a sense of vitality, as if I were truly living rather than merely existing. It began subtly, quick coffee breaks during work hours, lunches when David was at his office. But soon, Marcus demanded more of my time. He'd send texts insisting on immediate meetings, and if I hesitated or mentioned prior obligations, he'd withdraw until I proved my dedication by rearranging my plans. Real relationships require sacrifice, he'd say when I expressed unease about his increasing demands. Anyone can love when it's convenient, but showing up in tough moments, that's what makes a bond authentic. I reshaped my life to accommodate Marcus's desires, canceling plans with friends for his sudden free hours, fabricating elaborate excuses to David about my whereabouts. The secrecy sparked a thrill that electrified every moment. Sending covert messages to Marcus while grocery shopping or sitting beside David while planning our next meeting felt like starring in a thrilling saga. David, unaware, asked mundane questions about my day, accepting my vague responses without suspicion. His lack of doubt made my deception almost effortless. Marcus became increasingly possessive, requiring constant evidence that I prioritized our connection over my marriage. He demanded photos sent at specific times, instant responses to his messages regardless of my circumstances, and my availability whenever he was free, even if it meant disappointing others. "Your husband has you every night," he'd argue when I resisted. "Is it too much to ask for you to be there when I need you?" For 6 intense months, my world revolved around his texts, my schedule molded to his unpredictable whims. David's predictable routine made this possible. I always knew when I needed to be home. But the burden of living a double life was exhausting. Tracking lies, maintaining dual personas, and staying alert to avoid mistakes drained me. I grew sloppy, forgetting to delete messages or account for stray receipts. The truth came to light one Thursday morning. David, home early with a headache, overheard me on a video call with Marcus, a clearly intimate conversation, not a professional one. His response wasn't explosive anger but a heavy, resigned disappointment, as if he'd long anticipated this betrayal. "How long has this been happening?" he asked quietly. When I tried to minimize it, claiming it was just a friendship, he presented proof. Bank statements, charges from restaurants I'd claimed were work-related, parking fees from hotels when I'd said I was running errands. An undeniable trail of my infidelity. The divorce was swift and businesslike. David didn't seek vengeance, he was simply done. He kept our house, I took half our savings, and we parted without drama, two people dissolving a partnership that had long been fractured. What I hadn't anticipated was Marcus's response. With David out of the picture and no barriers remaining, I thought Marcus and I could forge something genuine. But his interest faded almost immediately. The thrill, it seemed, was in the secrecy, the chase of someone unattainable. "I thought you understood," he said when I sought commitment. "This was about the rush of the forbidden. Without that, it's just mundane." He disappeared, blocked my number, ignored my texts, and moved on to someone else. 8 months of reorienting my life for him. And he discarded me the moment I was fully available. Now, at 31, I'm divorced and navigating a dating scene that sees me as either an easy mark or a cautionary tale. Men shift their demeanor once they learn why my marriage collapsed, assuming I'll betray them too or treating me as if I should be grateful for their fleeting attention, like I'm damaged goods. David, meanwhile, has flourished. Friends say he's with a compassionate teacher, never married, who finds his steady demeanor charming rather than oppressive. 2 years later, I spend most evenings alone, wondering if the brief thrill was worth the stability I sacrificed. Marcus gave me 8 months of feeling desired, but it cost me my marriage, my financial security, and my reputation. The irony burns. I left one emotionally distant man for another who was even less attainable. David, at least, was honest about his limitations. Marcus offered promises he never intended to keep. Perhaps my decisions were impulsive. Maybe I should have worked harder to mend things with David. But I won't claim that settling for a life-lacking connection is noble just because it's conventional. I'm still figuring out what comes next, but one truth stands clear. Passion without genuine commitment is a fleeting mirage, and its price can be far heavier than you ever imagine.